So being involved in this whole documentary business for a while, right? How do you see the future of freelancing in Singapore? And do you have any hope, of where you like to see yourself as a documentary filmmaker go?
Okay, so like there's a two-part question. So the first part, I see a lot of great potential in the gig economy and the freelance economy, because I think it is slowly maturing to the point that there are some footholds that new people can come in and don't need to get exploited. Organizations like Creatives at Works, for example. Now there's actually support mechanisms. The struggle and the fight for us to get recognized as a labor that should be respected is still a long journey that we have to do, but it's definitely I would say it's definitely improving at a slow but steady slow but steady pace. I think because of this rather cutthroat environment, I personally appreciate it because okay, it may sound a bit cruel, but the wheat gets weeded out. And those who survive in this know what they're talking about, because I think we do not give enough credit for the people who decide not to do this line of work. I do believe that people who decide not to do the gig economy but to have a quote unquote traditional way of doing business, they have their own struggles as well. Struggles that maybe us freelancers do not want to admit or concede, because we always like to say that ours is like actually harder, there are no weekends or whatever. Sometimes we do that, but there's suffering in any kind of occupation that you decide to have. It's just you pick what kind of poison you decide to drink because you love that work or that contribution so much. So I believe that we need to change our mindset a bit in terms of us playing the victim card. In terms of the hope of the industry, yeah, I once again very very hopeful about it. I think not only is the economy maturing so that there's more support structures, but I think because of the trailblazers in front of us, a lot more clients are more willing and open up to the ideas of engaging freelancers. Because freelancers, previously it's like, oh wait, you don't have an office, you don't have a stable job. It's like, oh, there are a lot of risks involved. But I think there are enough freelancers that have done this for a number of years to prove that this is a solid investment. This you can find a worthy partner in a freelancer as well.
I had to say, right, that personally, going off on what you just said, why I like to ask people, like I would say, like bring people onto the dark side, onto freelancing, is actually I do enjoy the fact that freelancing has given myself, and I think I've seen it in a lot of people as well, a lot of freedom to accomplish what they have always wanted to accomplish. I feel that is one of the most difficult part to find in your career, in any career that you find. Definitely, I think it's hard in all kinds of all industries. And certain people's dreams are to be a certain profession. For example, you want to be a doctor, the head doctor that you've ever wanted to be. Totally fine, go ahead and do it. If your dream was to become a lawyer and you sit in that profession, yeah, sure, go ahead and do what you've always wanted to do. But yeah, for me, it has always been, I don't know, I guess at that point of time of my life, when I was very young, I didn't think about freelancer as being a profession that I wanted to do. But definitely the things that I'm doing as a freelancer, I think is what I've always wanted to do. I think it's the impact that we make on different people's lives as well. Yeah. So sorry, I went on to my own monologue. But that's just one a thought that I had. That is difficult, I think. Yeah, like you said, it's difficult in every profession. But I think it's a dream that you want to accomplish. What you actually want to make out of. If you're going to work anyway, might as well work in something you like.
Could I ask a question actually?
Yeah, sure.
Just to respond to you, because it's like one of the things that I've spoken about with other people in the industry as well, is that one of the costs of living our dream is some of the what other people in the working world would consider basic necessities, because we don't have the health insurance that people who work in corporates get. Like if let's say you pay for your own CPF, once you do the actual calculations, you actually double pay because the 17% from the corporates, now you get to put it out yourself.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that is a cost that is currently too high for us, or is just a cost that you should be willing to stomach to follow your dreams?
I don't know. I actually that's actually a question that even now my mom asks me. Even that's why she always is asking me to get a job. It's like, hey, you don't have CPF, you don't see a doctor. Who's gonna pay for it? I'm like, Mia. I feel we've grown up too comfortable with that mindset that someone should be responsible for all of this for us. So yes, CPF is supposed to be ours. I think the rules have made it so that our employers are supposed to pay something for us as well. But hey, it's your house if you want to buy it. It's your healthcare that you should be saving for. You should take responsibility for it. The whole point of this is my own philosophy. The whole point of the government coming up with something like CPF is because people like you aren't saving. So save, and then there's no problem, right? So it's forced saving, isn't that what it is? It has been very blatantly spelled out since the beginning. Is to force you to save for your health, force you to save for your house. Those are the two main things, force you to save for your next generation as well. So I've always had the mindset that this shouldn't be held accountable to anyone else but myself. So actually, ever since I started out in my career working and earning, even my first 2 jobs, I think I didn't have CPF. And I was like, yeah, fine. I didn't have health benefits. Yeah, okay, but I have money to pay if I need to go to a doctor. It's okay. Yeah, so, and insurance, I mean, I buy my own insurance, I bought it since I was studying myself. So, it's a mindset. Yeah.
So I think the key issue is not whether it's a CPF or insurance or what. I think we are looking at it as or rather freelancers should look at it as protection, right? Yes. I mean, it's clearly that as an employee, you are protected, whether it's by the companies, by the government, because there's Employment Act and things like that. But when you're working for yourself, right, then you are responsible for yourself. So if you're responsible for yourself, then these are the things that you need to consider, right? And just like any other business that has cost of capital, right? The cost of running a business. So as a freelancer, if you really see this as a viable career, so those are your costs of running a business. So I think as long as you actually approach it, with a mindset that you understood that there's this protection part, whether is it protecting yourself or is it protecting your equipment, your company, so those are the necessary things that you need to explore.
Yeah.
Right. So I think one of the episodes that we did for our last season was actually on insurance, right? So
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was actually quite well received. So I think a lot of the freelancers are aware, right, that they need to look into this because nobody else, right, is looking into this for them. So although I think NTUC, the government, MOM and all this, they are trying to push for insurance for freelancers, things like that. So while those are still in discussion stage, but right now the freelancers can relook at their insurance plan already to plan for themselves lah. I think it is a responsible, right, you should be responsible for yourself because you chose this career.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I actually do once again, I think this really supports that how the this gig economy is maturing in the sense that it does help to support, because I think not only the insurance podcast that you helped, which was quite valuable, you also recently came out with that whole guide on how to do taxes, because now it's tax season, and that's not something that we learn in polytechnics or in universities and all that, which I feel is quite strange since it's something that almost everyone needs to do. So I'm not sure why we are not thought about doing it, but that's a subject for another day. But there are also other things as well. The gig economy also gave rise to things like Carousel. And there's one thing that us freelancers can do that like production houses cannot do, is to buy secondhand equipment and to sell secondhand equipment. And we keep our costs so low if you know how to play that game. And we oftentimes, I think we give the government a lot of like negative voice about how they're not protecting all those. But I think someone put on Insta story a few months ago that I happened to notice is that I think they changed some of the laws whereby, especially in terms of the copyright law, where now it's like when you make like you take a photo or whatever in Singapore, like that immediately belongs to you. You don't need to file for anything. So I think there's already some progress in the legislative and legislative aspects.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're definitely having it a lot better than like you trailblazers in the early days lah.
No, but I feel it's no matter which path that you choose, whether it's career as well or personal choices, it's always your own responsibility to think about all of these things and to protect yourself in whichever way it is possible.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just it's life.